If you retired tomorrow, could you go without a paycheck for 10 years, 20 years, or even 30 years? When you retire, you're going on permanent unemployment. That paycheck goes away. And so there's no do-overs in retirement. The one thing you want to make sure that you really have a good handle on is where income is going to come from now that you've given up your employment work check every week. That's why Tony Robbins, in his book, Money Master the Game, said that in retirement, income is the outcome. So today we're going to talk about replacing your paycheck in retirement so that you can have peace of mind and security and really feel good about the plan that you're making. So number one key to building an income plan for retirement is to make sure that you have a really good plan for how you're going to utilize Social Security. Okay, think about that. Social Security, you've paid into it all those years. Now it's time to draw that, and you want to make sure that you have a system to maximize and squeeze out every possible dollar that you can out of Social Security. And so it's the cornerstone of a foundation. Think of your financial house, and it starts with a foundation. That foundation is income, but what is the cornerstone of that foundation? It's Social Security. So what we would tell you is make sure that you don't just take Social Security and draw according to how your brother-in-law told you it was a good idea, or your neighbor, or your Sunday school teacher. They may be well-meaning, but when and how to take your Social Security so it's best for you and your family's income for the rest of your life is too important to leave to something like that. So we recommend that you get an analysis on how to maximize your Social Security. And for some people, it's to take it the very first day they possibly can at a young age, maybe 62. There's other people that should wait till 70, the very latest of time, and then many people in between. And what we would tell you is when it comes to Social Security, to have a really good plan, it needs to be considered along with all of your other income sources. So again, make sure that you have a well thought out plan for Social Security. It can account for 25%, 40% or more of your income in retirement. And think of it this way. It's really the only pension most people ever get anymore. And if you live to be 105 years old, it continues to come for you every year. And there's typically an adjustment up for inflation. A couple years ago, people received a really nice increase in 2023, 8-point-something%. And then again this year in 2024, 3% plus. So think of that as an increase on your money. So point number one, to replace your paycheck, have a really good buttoned up plan for how you're going to utilize Social Security. Number two, create multiple streams of income sources for retirement. So you need Social Security, but then what else can you add to that to fill in all the income that you need? It could be things like maybe you do still get a pension from somewhere. How are you going to take that if you're married? Are you going to take it for single life or double? Making sure that you really plan well about all these decisions. And then if you do or don't have a pension, what else is going to fill what we call the income gaps? So let's say you get Social Security and a small pension, and that equals $3,500 a month, but you want $7,000 a month to meet your budget for paying your bills and having some fun in retirement. Well, how are you going to pay that income gap? So those are things like annuities, dividends from stocks or mutual funds or ETFs. It could be things like bank notes, even right now, a CD from a bank. Maybe making a decent rate of return. You know, it's not going to be a get-rich-quick scheme, but it's interest off the CD, and at least it's paying maybe 4 or 5% at the time of this taping. So again, make sure that you have multiple streams of income, because in any given year, some of them can be doing really well, others okay, and others maybe lagging behind a little, but then that can shift again in a year or two. So having multiple streams really gives you a great solid plan for replacing that paycheck in retirement. And number three, we would say use tax planning strategies to reduce taxes and increase income. Well, Pete, what do you mean by that, increase income? Well, if you do some really good tax planning early on, and maybe even from the retirement date to when you have to take required minimum distributions, age 73, maybe you do some really good tax planning, convert some of your IRAs to Roth, prepay the taxes in advance, and then you get to utilize that tax-free money later in your income. That could be, for some people, like adding 10% more income per year because of the tax efficiencies that are involved. Maybe even 15%. For some, it could be 20% or more added to your money because you get to actually spend a higher percentage of that instead of paying taxes on that. You do understand that for most people, some of their Social Security is going to be taxed. Most of the income that you take is going to be taxed like from taking out of your 401k and that. So the more you can plan for taxes, even though it may not be a higher number, it's a higher amount of spendable money to you. So we would tell you to be sure to sit down with people that can really help you with a solid plan on making your money more tax efficient in retirement. So replacing your paycheck is good, but it's even better if you have part of that income coming from tax-free sources. Hardly a better word in retirement than tax-free, because that means that you don't have to split so much of it with the government. You get to keep a bigger part of it. So there are some really good tax planning strategies, and we would say you need to reach out to somebody. We'd be happy to help you answer any questions as well. But things like Roth conversions and looking for different ways to just create tax efficiency over your money. The fourth thing that I would tell you is a key to having a really good income plan for retirement and replacing that paycheck is to have a written retirement plan. Okay, so think of a written retirement plan almost like a GPS, or if you've heard of Waze, W-A-Z-E. If you have that app on your phone, you use that like my wife and I do when we're traveling somewhere. It tells us when there's potholes in the road, which is quite often. It tells us when there's accidents, other things that we need to be aware of. So when you have a written plan for retirement, that's a really good thing, because that written plan is going to give you a roadmap to get you to your destination. What is the destination? Well, to keep adequate income till the day that you die, or if it's a couple, till at least the second one dies, to have adequate income to meet all of your bills and to have some fun money, of course, too. So have a written plan. My question to you is, do you have one? Maybe you're retired right now and you say, Pete, I don't even really know what a written plan would look like. You know, we just take money out of our accounts and hope that it lasts to the finish line. Well, we would say that's more like winging it without really a good strategic plan. So a better plan, and I think what's going to help you sleep better at night and feel more confident, is to have a written plan. And so that's where you've written out exactly where your income is going to come from, what your budget is, where you're going to draw money from, how you're going to utilize those 401ks and IRAs and maybe other brokerage accounts. Are you going to have any annuities or CDs or any other dividend paying things? And then how do you take from each of your accounts? Because you need a sequence of withdrawal strategy. And so at our firm, Beacon Capital, we make sure that all of our advisors, when they're meeting with people and helping them design a retirement plan, that they have a written plan that they can follow. I'm told through various surveys that are out there by, I think, respected sources, that 30% of retirees going into retirement have a written plan. That means the other 70% do not. That may not be the exact percentages, but it's probably pretty close to that, because even the clients that come to talk to us, or prospective clients, and they're talking to us about what a retirement plan looks like, very few of them have ever been able to meet with us the first time and show us a really documented written plan before they met with us. But I think everybody needs to have one. So again, going through these one more time, Make sure that you have a really strong plan for Social Security. That is the cornerstone to your income plan. Making sure that you have multiple streams of income, that your income can come from various sources in retirement. Number 3, as much as it is possible, make sure that you have a really good tax strategy over your money to give you more tax efficiencies, therefore more spendable money. And then I think what's really going to help you sleep better at night is to know that you have a written plan that shows how you're going to make it to the finish line and never run out of money. So again, these are the things that we feel are very, very important to replacing your paycheck. One of the ways to get started is to do an income analysis. And one of the things that our firm offers to you that we'd like you to take advantage of is one of these financial plan checkups that will really help you show what an income analysis is like and where your income should come from. And then you'll be able to see what it really looks like to have an actual plan, not just a hope and a wing and a prayer for your income in retirement. So reach out to us. If you like this topic and you want to hear similar topics about retirement, then make sure that you subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to you connecting with us soon.